What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Sports Mixtape. I say this every week that we have a good one for you, but this week we really do. This might be one of my favorites.
This is one of the reasons we started the video podcast, is to have this episode.
Yeah, exactly. This is...
Most everybody's quotes that they re-quote come from this era of movies.
Exactly. And this is going to be... we're going to do a snake draft on our favorite 1980s action movies. And this is movies made between 1980 and 1989. There is a lot of them. And I'm excited.
Brought up a lot of good memories. Some of the best dads in the world let their youngsters, their young boys, watch rated R movies when they were little kids.
Yeah.
And it just welcomed us into a world of action.
Jimmy? Who wants to pick? I'm not picking. I've been last every time.
Honors there, Brad.
Come on.
I think
let me get it, Jimmy. Brent.
All right.
Number one.
Okay.
Go ahead and pick the next one then.
Number two tonight will be Brad.
Keep the streak alive.
Yeah.
All right.
4 in a row. I like it. I like having the back-to-back.
I like middle because I don't have to do 2 in a row and think about it too hard.
And I'm just gonna write this down and keep track of this.
It's a lot of pressure right here.
I was gonna say, I'm almost glad I didn't get number one.
I actually thought 2 or 3 would be easier because this is a lot of pressure, but you know what? Someone's got to do it. With the number one pick, the 1980s action movies, I'm going with my boy, Frank Dukes in Bloodsport. 1988, yes. Jean-Claude Van Damme kind of gets his start in this movie.
Put up your dukes.
He's a U.S. Army captain who goes AWOL to compete in the famed brutal Kumite in Hong Kong. So not only in this movie is he fighting in the tournament, he's dodging these military investigators who are out to try to find him and come after him.
He gets opiate thrown in his eye and has to continue fighting.
A salt pill at the end. So the Kumite is this secret underground fighting championship kind of in the underworld of Hong Kong. There were no stuntmen in this film. And actually in one of the scenes when Frank is fighting, he does this spinning elbow, and in real life he knocked the guy out. He elbows him in his jaw.
That's why it looks so real.
There's some great characters in this movie. First off, you have Chong Li, the bad guy. He's just built like an absolute beast. He's the hometown guy. He fights a little dirty and a little sneaky. And things get real when he hurts Ray Jackson.
Now, Ray Jackson, was he a professional football player?
He was a professional actor.
That's it. He should have been a professional football player.
And he's full of life in this movie. Frank befriends him, and he's actually beating Chong Li, but he gets a little ahead of himself. He kind of gets carried away. Starts counting his chickens before they hatch. Another interesting one about this movie is the Mortal Kombat character Johnny Cage was designed as a direct homage to Frank Dukes in this movie. So, this was hard, but Bloodsport to me is just a classic. It's the tournament style. The fight scenes in this movie are awesome, and the fact that he overcomes the iconic scene in the movie is, like Brad says, Chong Li throws this chemical in his face. He can't see. And it takes him back to when he used to train blindfolded. And so he fights, ends up winning the Kumite. Can't go wrong with Bloodsport.
Yeah.
Great pick.
And you know that I'm going to have to go back and watch all these movies now.
I've written them on a note,
So that's where his buddy comes from, was Revenge of the Nerds, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
He just passed away, that guy, a couple days ago.
Yeah, very recently.
I thought he played, though, in the league for a little bit.
He might have. He might have
been a former
I thought the
player.
Raiders or something, but... All right. Great number one.
Yeah.
All right,
it's off the board.
I'm going to top you. I have to. Just go ahead and ask me what's best in life.
What's best in life?
Quoting Arnold Schwarzenegger.
To crush your enemies, to see them driven before you, and hear the lamentations of the women. Conan the Barbarian. I don't think you could go wrong with this movie. It's a movie of way before medieval, way before Christ, way before time, of just barbarians on this planet. We get James Earl Jones. We get
Thulsa Doom.
We get Arnold. Arnold's this young barbarian warrior who's just like christened into the world of barbarianism. He goes out on his pilgrimage. He gets trained by a Mongol just out in the wilderness. There's a lot of good like back and forth between them. There's a huge language barrier, so everything's just done by emotion or makeshift sign language. He's on this pilgrimage, and then he goes to the city where he meets in today's world, the Hare Krishnas that are all dressed, robed in white. But he just goes on a wreckage after that. James Earl Jones has this giant python.
Is that like his first big movie, Arnold?
This launched Arnold.
This launched him into it. Go watch it. I think I remember watching it with my dad when I was like 3.
Do you remember the Wheel of Pain in this? This is how Arnold gets so big.
Yeah.
So his family gets like massacred when he's a kid. He gets taken in as a slave, and he has to push the Wheel of Pain for hours and hours, and that's how he ends up so jacked. And you can't forget, Brad.
Don't.
Yeah.
I got it.
Okay.
I got it. Okay.
Yep.
You ever seen a grown man knock out a camel? So there's a scene where Arnold's like in the villages and at a tavern or something. They have a few too many.
Yeah.
They walk outside and this camel just like keeps nudging him. He turns around and laughs at it and just straight right hooks it and knocks the thing out cold. Just shivers it to the ground. Arnold was
You could do that. You could do that kind of stuff in the 80s.
Yeah. So made it great.
Animal rights activists, please don't listen to this episode.
I believe I read somewhere in my research, I could be wrong, but I don't think I am on this, that the first 25 minutes of the movie, Conan doesn't even speak.
There's no words.
And the score of this movie, like the music is kind of what it was known for back then. It has like this score that like sets the scene. Yeah, like Brad said, it's kind of like it's an interesting piece. It's almost like fantasy / sorcery /
I gotta check my facts, but they did either a remake or something very close to it. It had Willem Dafoe in it, kind of as like the
they did a second
sorcerer.
one, Conan the Destroyer. And that was more of like a family friendly, but it was a little more lighthearted. But yeah, this is what launched young Arnold to superstardom. This movie.
Yeah, and that's why he's on the rest of my list.
Yeah, he's got an all Arnold list.
Nice.
Well, he's not going to be able to because my number one pick, one of the greatest Arnold movies, especially from the 80s, talking about Predator.
Yeah, good choice.
Predator from 1987, group of elite commandos. They go in, one of the units goes missing and they go in to try and find them. And what they don't realize is that they're not dealing with humans. They're dealing with an alien, a predator. But this movie, there's so many great lines from it, a bunch of great scenes. You got, what's his name who plays Apollo Creed is in there. You have the guy with the big machine gun. Just one of these action-packed movies.
You've got 2 actors that were voted into office.
Yeah. But yeah, this is just a great movie. And I saw Jean-Claude Van Damme, speaking of which, was originally inside the Predator suit before he ended up leaving production.
Really?
Yeah, they replaced him with Kevin Peter Hall, who was 7'2".
I was going to say, the Predator had to be a substantial
They
figure.
wanted a big guy. Yeah, there's some interesting things. So this was actually filmed in the Mexican jungle, and most of the cast got sick from eating the local food and drinking the local beverages. I thought this was cool too. So the Predator's like green blood in this movie was made from glow stick liquid mixed with KY jelly. That's how they got the green blood for the Predator.
I'm gonna have to make some of that.
But what I thought was like the most iconic part of this movie was the fact that the Predator had that thermal vision. So whenever you saw from his point of view,
him clicking,
the sounds he would make. And,
I really love that they're still making them. I just watched the newest one. The last two of them were fantastic.
The one, what was the one? There's a new one with the girl. It was like a Native American.
Yes.
That was really good. I wasn't expecting it to be good, but...
Then the newest one was more on the lines of, let's take you to Predator's homeland.
Oh, yeah.
And see how things go there. Well, then they could time travel and all that.
Yeah.
So he goes to this like jungle type planet where there's AI, like robotic figures there who were just mauled by the homeland predators.
And there's a leader predator in that. But anyway, go and check that one out.
Yep.
Nice.
Predator, great movie.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go again and...
you got some on there that I didn't even think
I'm going to go with Roadhouse. Yeah. My second pick.
That was my number 2.
Have you learned how to rip someone's throat out yet?
I have not learned, but Patrick Swayze is Rick Dalton. This is a fun movie, a really fun movie to me.
It's an incredible movie.
He plays a bouncer from New York. He's hired at a new bar called the Double Deuce.
In Missouri.
Missouri.
The best house band ever.
That was a real band.
With the blind
player. That was a real band, but anyway, really corrupt town, corrupt businessman of the town that kind of controls everything. And Patrick Swayze comes in, cleans up the Double Deuce, falls in love, fights the corrupt businessman and his cronies. Like you said, great scene where...
performs a tracheotomy with his hands.
He has to. There's no other way around it. He has to rip the guy's throat out and just leave him in the lake.
I think the first time I watched this movie, I watched that scene over and over again going, what did he just do? What did he just do? Do you guys remember Dalton's 3 rules for bar security? Now this is interesting. Because after this movie came out, the NYPD started using these rules in training police officers.
Really?
That's good.
There were 3 rules.
Bro, it's to maintain your cool, basically, all the time.
Never underestimate your opponent. Expect the unexpected. That was rule number 1. Number 2, take it outside whenever possible.
Yeah.
And number 3, be nice.
Be nice.
Yep.
You
know who else was awesome in this? Sam Elliott.
Sam Elliott, yeah.
Dalton's mentor, Wade Garrett, was phenomenal in this. And then you had the love interest, Kelly Lynch. She was the doctor. Remember, she has to like sew and stitch Dalton up after he gets
old dusty
ripped
town.
Up.
What was it? Oklahoma, Texas,
and
Missouri.
Missouri. And like the bad guy. He does such a good job in this movie because you hate him the whole movie. Brad Wesley was his name in the movie, but
I don't think that was his first bad guy role either.
No, he had it down.
This was such like a typical classic 1980s movie that once again I'm not sure if you'd be able to really have those types of scenes. They remade Roadhouse. I actually watched it.
These are the best movies.
And they had to change it up, and they took out a bunch of the good scenes. But
the remake is one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
It was Jake Gyllenhaal.
I didn't watch it.
Don't.
I saw the preview.
Don't.
It was like an MMA fight. They do take scenes from the old one, but yeah, the original is just so good. Simple kind of movie, but
great choice,
amazing.
Jimmy. You took my number 2 right out from underneath me. All right, Brad, back to you.
Brent, I think you're going to like this one. I just got to
research
just a touch. Just like Predator, I was in the jungle of Mexico recently. I got a little jet lag. We'll call it that. How about when Dad first introduced us to, as Randy Macho Man Savage would say, a man with mental telepathy with animals.
I love this movie.
This is The Beastmaster, 1982. I think this was the first action movie I ever saw.
It's incredible.
Because it was still kind of more child friendly than Conan the Barbarian.
I remember this. I don't remember watching this movie though.
It follows Dar. Okay.
First off, great name.
Dar.
Great name for an 80s action.
This is a warrior in like a Conan setting.
Conan loincloth, same outfit.
He could speak with animals through mental telepathy. He had a...
Because again, you could do these things in the 80s.
He had the, was it a golden eagle or a hawk?
It was an eagle.
He had, was it a jaguar or a Black Panther?
Rue, the Black Panther.
Yes.
But interestingly enough, that was actually a tiger that they painted black.
Yeah, you can see the stripes.
You just get a Black Panther.
That's like He-Man's green tiger.
Yeah.
Get him?
The best were the ferrets, though. He had those
the two ferrets. You could send them anywhere.
Yep.
And he could speak with them.
Yeah.
That was it. But I mean, it kind of follows the Conan, genre of music.
Out for vengeance. Movie. Out for vengeance against someone who did him wrong.
And then the guy massacres his whole village.
Yeah.
And as a kid, he's probably only like 10, 12 years old watching this, hiding, and gets away. And then he comes back.
If you don't remember this, Jimmy, put
I
this
gotta
on
watch
your
it.
list.
But you know what I'm realizing as we're talking about this? I love revenge movies so much, and I think it's because that's what all these movies are, essentially, 1980s action movies. So many of them are just revenge stories.
Do you remember the sequel to this? When he gets transported to real time?
No.
It's great.
I don't think I saw that one.
Yeah, you got to watch that one.
Nice.
Was that Beastmaster 2?
Yeah, I think he ends up in New York City.
Oh, gosh.
It's great.
Yeah, another great
All right,
choice.
yeah, that's one I got to check out.
You guys are picking them off one at a time. All right, for my next pick, got to do it. I'm going Ben Richards.
Yes.
Famed police helicopter pilot. Give me The Running Man, 1987.
Really good movie.
So many iconic Arnold one-liners in this one. So the plot is it's a corrupt government, and Arnold is framed for massacring people. They're able to edit video footage, kind of
This
like
is
AI
nowadays.
Nowadays.
Yeah, watch out. Arnold, they're coming for you.
Arnold is framed for murdering hungry people that are like, the citizens.
Probably
who
in the
don't
Mexican
have-
jungle.
Who don't have money. So he ends up getting an opportunity to go on a game show in order to survive the stalkers. And it's basically like they're hunting him. And if you can survive, but the thing is, nobody ever survives. No. So Damon Killian is the game show host in this. Phenomenal. This is played by Richard Dawson. He was actually the host of Family Feud.
Yes.
So he was the perfect guy for this.
What a creepy host.
Arnold is going up against, these stalkers like Buzzkill and Sub-Zero and Dynamo the opera singer. And so he kills Sub-Zero.
This is another Jesse the Body Ventura in this one, too.
He kills Sub-Zero. And he says, now you have plain zero.
Yeah.
He kills Buzzkill, and his one-liner after that is he had to split.
Yeah.
He's got so many gems in this. But anyway, he busts out the I'll be back for this. This is not the first movie he used that in, but he says it to Killian. And another little interesting trivia bit here. There's a cameo in this movie, right? This is one of the underground resistance leaders. Is played by none other than Mick Fleetwood, the drummer from Fleetwood Mac.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a bit of trivia. But
interesting.
Running Man is awesome. They actually just remade this one recently, and it's definitely watchable.
Just watched it.
Nothing will ever touch. It's
Yeah,
good.
it's
I gotta
very
watch
good.
it.
Yeah.
Nothing will ever touch the original, but this is actually a good movie.
The guy that's the host on the game show, the Running Man thing, is in a show that I love. He's such a good actor. Really, good character.
Yeah.
All right, you get another one.
All right, for my next one, I'm going with... I got to do it. I got to take Mad Max 2, The Road Warrior.
We were just talking about that.
Mel Gibson in this flick.
You got 2 in a row from me there.
Man, 1981.
So good.
This is the second of the Mad Max movies. Came after the original.
This is better than the original, I think.
In my opinion, this is the best out of all 3 of the old ones. Mel Gibson only has 16 lines of dialogue during this movie, which is 96 minutes long. This is like kind of what started the post-apocalyptic genre. The outfits, just carnage and chaos.
What a great movie.
Max wanders the Australian outback in search of, like, gasoline has become the commodity. It's become basically like the new economy. And he ends up coming across this like peaceful community that he reluctantly decides to help and defend. And what he has to do is drive a semi-tanker filled with gas, or so they think, basically across the desert, and he's chased by these motorcycles and makeshift vehicles that are put together, and they got hockey masks on. And they're out to get him. A couple interesting facts from this movie. Number one, it was filmed during the freezing cold Australian winter. So even though it looks hot and dry in the film, like it was like freezing cold temperatures. Like the crew was battling like hypothermia.
Yeah.
Max's companion, whose name is Dog in the movie, and I don't know if you remember, Max eats dog food in this movie. This dog was a rescue. It was rescued the day before. It was set to be euthanized, and they rescued this dog just on a random
became a movie star.
Ended up becoming the movie star. This to me is such an awesome movie, and I will say the remakes that they've done the last few years with Charlize Theron and
Really
one of the
good as
Hemsworths, awesome.
I got a question. So I love the couple sidekicks in this movie. The helicopter pilot.
Oh, yeah.
With the eye that comes in and out.
And the little girl with the boomerang.
Yeah.
Is that Charlize Theron grown up in the movie that she's in?
Could be. They don't say.
Yeah.
Really.
I've got a feeling. Now, Charlize Theron was... What's crazy in the newer ones is Mel Gibson plays the head honcho bad guy who's all juiced up.
Who's just trying to
but
eugenics.
I think Charlize Theron may be the daughter of him.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
Check out the new
Be
ones.
interesting to find out. But the 2 new ones,
Tom Hardy.
the visuals in the 2 new ones are just on another level. All right, I think it goes back to you, Brad.
All right. This is just
so many good ones.
So this movie, you could pick probably the first 4 or 5 of these as your favorite, but I got to go with Rocky IV. Okay, 1985, year I was born. Sly Stallone, Dolph Lundgren, Carl Weathers, just to name a few.
Paulie.
This is a revenge one. Paulie.
Everyone has a Paulie.
Yeah. This is a revenge movie. This is Cold War, America versus Russia. Carl Weathers, Apollo Creed, is kind of at the back end of his career. Wants to put on a big show for the last go-round.
He's struggling with not being in the spotlight.
Yes.
He's like really having that hard transition to retirement.
Yeah.
James Brown welcomes him out. One of the best. This turned me on to funk. And James Brown, man. This is how I learned quick feet, you know? And how to sweat. But Apollo Creed comes out. He's fighting the new upcoming world superstar, Ivan Drago. They got scientists.
The chemically enhanced Ivan.
They got scientists round the clock monitoring him, just making him a monster. And Carl Weathers goes out and gets destroyed.
To say the least.
Rest in peace, Apollo.
He hits Drago and is like, yeah, this ain't happening.
Yeah.
Drago kills him in the ring, or not? Is it in the ring?
Yeah, in the ring.
Later?
in the ring.
Yeah. So, what's great is Rocky and Apollo were enemies, and they became best friends through their careers together. And it just tears up Rocky. And
yeah, I mean, they're jumping in Daisy Dukes on the beach, hugging each other, all lathered up in sweat.
I want that montage with you guys. So Rocky goes on a mission. His wife is in tears.
She's not happy about it.
His brother-in-law, Paulie, doesn't even want him to go, even after Rocky bought him a robot maid.
Yeah.
He goes out to Russia to live in the wilderness in a cabin in the snow, the freezing temperatures, and trains for months out there. And I love the montage of the back and forth.
Yes, best part of the movie.
Between the Russian training and Rocky's training.
Old school.
Amazing soundtrack going on during this movie.
Yeah.
And then his trainer, because this is past Mickey, is
Apollo's trainer.
Yes, it's I believe it's Doc from Punch Out. He is there to support him or whatever, but like the times of the Cold War, this was just a symbol of America.
Yeah.
Iconic sports movie, so much so that the crowd at the end starts cheering for Rocky.
In Russia.
Because he's just unbreakable. He's like a piece of iron, you know?
Yeah.
And that's it's in typical Rocky fashion. Spoiler alert. He's getting worked early on.
Look,
but he just won't go down.
If we go in real time and have a new Rocky's brain is a bowl of oatmeal at this point.
Yeah. Well, and speaking of remakes and stuff, the new Creed movies are awesome that follow after Creed's son, Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah.
And Rocky has a part to play in some of them too. Awesome movies.
Yeah, Rocky 5 you can kind of shove to the side.
Is that with the Tommy?
Yeah, the street fight.
And he was a real fighter,
Rocky
too.
goes back to his roots.
Yeah, that was like they had to get one more movie in.
They were stretching a little bit.
Yeah, I mean,
but yeah.
Yeah, the fourth one was definitely like the finale of those movies to me.
That's a great choice. The fourth Rocky is the greatest Rocky of all time. I don't think that's up
for sure.
Yeah.
All right. All right, for my number 3, I got to go Rambo, First Blood.
Yeah.
1982. This is about a Vietnam veteran. He basically comes back from the war. He really doesn't have anything going on, no place to really live. And he is walking basically through this small town and trying to find a place to stay. And the sheriff, and they don't really explain in the movie, but the sheriff really has it out for Rambo.
He's a tool.
And he's like, "What are you doing in my town? Why? I'm taking you to jail. Get out of my town." And I think it's because, back then, Vietnam vets, a lot of people were hating on them, so I think they take that into account.
I think he was jealous. I actually think the sheriff was like small town, kind of. Probably got picked on when he was younger, and then then he gets a little bit of authority and power.
And Rambo's a war hero, like a decorated veteran. But anyway, he gets arrested, and he basically has to break free and runs up into the mountains in the woods, and it's an all-out manhunt for Rambo with the entire police force and everyone. But this is another movie. There's really not much to it, but there's so much action in it, and just a classic from 1982.
Yeah, it's a great choice.
And then I'm gonna have to say this one because we haven't said it yet, but I'm gonna have to go Terminator.
Yeah,
as my 4th pick. This is a killer cyborg travels back in time to kill Sarah Connor. Well, who's going to stop him? Arnie is, as a Terminator. He comes back in time. He has to try and kill this guy and save Sarah Connor and her son. What was his name in the movie?
Dorkwa. I think it's
Is that her son?
No, she gets pregnant. The end of the movie ends where she finds out she's pregnant.
That's right.
John Connor.
Yeah, John is the one who sacrifices
himself.
That's
right.
Terminator 2. He tells him, "Chill out, Dorkwa."
Yes. But now this is another movie. When it came out, Arnold absolutely blew up.
Yeah.
Every line from the movie, people were talking about it.
When he's got to get clothes in these movies is the best. When
Yeah.
he first shows back up naked
Yes,
and
he's
goes
naked.
into bars
Yep.
or the gas station. And yeah.
But yeah, Terminator, great movie.
Really interesting. So James Cameron was like flat broke, sleeping on friends' couches during this. He sold this script for $1 with the caveat that he had to be the director. And next thing you know, James Cameron becomes James Cameron. And it's interesting too, Jimmy, I'm sure in your research you found out like how he got the idea for this movie.
He said he got it from like a fever dream, which I don't even really know what that is. But
you have a fever, you have a temperature, you're sick. He had a dream about running
Arnold.
from Terminators, and then the next thing you know,
what a wild dream to have and turn it into a movie.
I want to dream like where's the fever?
I
dream
don't
coming?
even remember my dreams, but
Yeah, those are two solid choices there, Jimbo.
all right, Brad, you're number 4.
You did too? Dang.
Rambo and Terminator.
All right, let's introduce another actor that we all love, Kurt Russell. Big Trouble in Little China. This one's more of a comedy, but action comedy, and one of those like
Such a bizarre movie.
one of those like tag team duo comedies where you have Kurt Russell as a semi truck driver, the Pork Chop Express, and he loses his semi in a gambling in a card game, and him and his partner they in Little China discover this underworld ruled by a sorcerer. So this is like very fictional movie as well. And the ending to this movie is the best. So the guy like starts blowing up and he throws a knife at it right in his head, pops him open.
Well, I love when, what is it, like the sorcerers pop up in the middle of the street, like up in the sky or whatever it is.
But yeah, Kurt Russell's just like smooth talker, John Wayne acting kind of guy. And then his partner's the one who has all like the martial arts skills and getting stuff done behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I haven't watched this one in a long time. I gotta revisit this.
This would be a good one to refresh. Yep. Yeah. Kurt Russell had a couple bangers in the 80s for sure.
He was great. I loved Kurt Russell.
Big Trouble Little China.
All right, for my next pick, sometimes I feel the need for speed. I'm going Top Gun, 1986.
Ooh, yep.
This movie may have the best opening scene of all time in the movie. You got Danger Zone playing. You got the fighter jets taking off and landing on the naval ship or whatever, and the perfect like sunset happening in the background. Tom Cruise plays Pete Maverick Mitchell. He's like a renegade fighter pilot. Really wrestles with the fact that his dad mysteriously went missing during one of the wars, so he's kind of a loose cannon. And his competition in this, Iceman Val Kilmer.
Yeah.
And
this kind of the intro to Val Kilmer a little bit, right?
Yeah, and these guys are in flight school. The prestigious flight school competing for the Top Gun. A couple of interesting facts about this movie. Sales of the Ray-Ban Aviators in the few months after the release of this movie skyrocketed by like 40%.
I'm sure.
It was insane. The iconic beach volleyball scene, which is like a staple of this movie.
Yep.
Reminded me of the Rocky scene with Apollo.
I think it was for the ladies. I think this scene was for the female audience. But it became a staple scene in the movie, and the director or whoever was in charge of the scene was almost fired because the people didn't like it at first, and it ended up becoming, one of the iconic scenes.
Yep.
You also have the bar serenade. I'm wondering if this is where the term wingman comes from, when he sings to her,
Could be,
"You've lost that loving feeling" at the bar. This movie has a special place in my heart because all those years ago, playing ball in college, you travel on buses to games.
Yep.
And our bus had a VHS video player. And this was one of only a handful of movies that existed on that bus. So I've watched this movie, I can't even tell you how many times.
I mean, this is such, like, out of all the 80s movies, this, you know, it's out of most 80s, this would be probably top 5 classic, I'd say.
My next one, not only is this a phenomenal action movie, it's an incredible Christmas movie. Yippee-ki-yay.
Yeah.
We got to go with Die Hard from 1988. The famous Yippee-ki-yay MFer. This was actually a joke. This was not in the script. Bruce Willis said it like to make the crew laugh, and it ended up becoming, again, these things that are accidents become iconic things.
This is another great villain in this movie.
Hans Gruber.
Yes.
Phenomenal villain in this.
Excellent.
So, John McClane is a NYPD detective. Him and his wife are kind of estranged on the rocks. He visits her out in LA during a Christmas party and ends up battling. You know, he leaves for a second either to go to the bathroom and ends up, terrorists take over. They take people at the party hostage in an LA skyscraper. There's so many incredible scenes in this movie when McClane is pulling the shards of glass out of his feet, when he's climbing through the air ducts up top. Speaking of the villain Hans Gruber, so the end scene when he gets like cut, the look on his face, he's so surprised. That's because they actually cut the wire before the countdown was supposed to be, because they wanted like a genuine look of fear. Brad nailed it. Awesome villain in this. But so this is kind of what I would say like launched Bruce Willis's career, these movies. And they're all good. Like Die Hard 2 on the plane was an awesome movie. But Bruce Willis was not originally asked to play this role. It was offered to Arnold. It was offered to Sylvester Stallone. It was offered to Clint Eastwood. And it was offered to Burt Reynolds before they finally landed on Bruce. And
Bruce is a great choice.
He did an awesome job with this movie.
Yeah. I don't think it would have been the same with those other guys.
I agree.
A bunch of great sequels, too.
Awesome, awesome sequels.
All right,
Brad.
Back to me.
Back to you.
I'm getting too old for this. Lethal Weapon. we got to go Mel Gibson, Danny Glover.
Yeah.
One of the best ever cop duo movies.
Riggs and Murtaugh.
Riggs and Murtaugh.
Yep.
You got Mel Gibson. Riggs is just lost his wife, so he's depressed all the time, suicidal. He's a wild card at
loose
best.
cannon. Yeah, he's a loose cannon.
He's ex-special forces.
He doesn't follow protocol.
No, he doesn't follow proto at all. And then Danny Glover, like I said, he's getting too old for this. And just complete opposite of him, and the dynamic between the two of them.
It's a great that's what makes the movie is the complete opposites.
Brad is the Riggs of this podcast.
I don't even know how many times he actually dies in the movie, and he just comes back to life somehow.
Yeah.
But they follow this case. They're paired up on a case of was it kidnapping or a suicide case or something, and they just uncover a huge underground heroin distribution. Full action packed. That's it. It's action packed. Explosions. All gunfire and everything you could want out of an action movie.
I think this was, if I'm not mistaken, I think this was like the original buddy cop movie. And then you had all these buddy cop spin-offs.
It's really what opened the door for all these other buddy cop
which
movies.
Is a great genre of movie, the buddy cop movie. You got the two different personalities. They can't function without each other, but when they're with, it's like it's like an old married couple.
Yeah. All right. Well, there's a lot of wrestlers that act nowadays, right? You got The Rock, you got like John Cena. But
Randy missed his opportunity.
But the original wrestler that acted was Roddy Piper.
Yeah.
And he's in a movie called They Live. And this movie...
This is new to me.
Really?
I've seen
my gosh. You got to
me.
check this. So Roddy Piper is a drifter, and his name is like Nada or Nada. But he's like not a great guy, but he's a drifter. He goes around and he stumbles upon this church. And in the church, there's this box of like sunglasses. Sam being a drifter thief, he steals the sunglasses. Well, when he has them on, he's walking down the road and he notices a billboard, and it says like comply, and basically subliminal messaging. So he takes them off, and it's just a normal billboard. Says a normal ad. So he puts it back on, and he's like, well, that's weird. I can see Well, then he starts walking into town. He notices that when he has it on, there's certain people, and they look like aliens. Well, he takes it off. They look like regular people. Puts back on. He realizes that like the upper class folks in America have been infiltrated. They're aliens, and basically they're trying to bring America down from the inside out. And so these glasses help him.
Wait, this is a B movie.
Yes, I wouldn't put this up there with like Terminator or anything, but
it sounds like he was foretelling the future.
Yeah, exactly. But
are these the same like glasses that Bart Simpson has in the video?
Yeah. But like I said, this is another just fun movie. Roddy Piper, I'm not gonna say he's the greatest actor, but it has everything you want. There's a 6-minute fight scene in the alley, a full 6 minutes, just craziness. And there's another, I can't remember who he teams up with, but there's another guy he gives a pair of glasses to, and they can see who the aliens are, and basically they have to take them down. But if you haven't seen They Live,
this is new to me. I'm gonna have to check this one
Yeah,
out.
check it out.
Nothing like a good B movie.
It's one of the ones you're gonna laugh more than flinch.
It's just exactly. And with that being said, I'm gonna go into another B movie, and this is called Escape from New York.
Snake.
And this is Snake Plissken,
Kurt Russell.
ex-forces, ex-special forces. And he's also a criminal, but
the eye patch says it all.
Yeah,
and the mullet.
Basically the president gets kidnapped. His plane goes down because Manhattan at this point now is in a giant open jail where the worst of the worst are, and he has to go in and try and rescue the president. And they give him. He finds this little thing where you could kind of clone yourself or whatever it is. And but this is nothing but a typical early 1980s B movie that once again is just a ton of fighting, shooting, and Snake Plissken, he has to basically get the president and get him out of there and escape.
Great one.
Yep. Kurt again making the list.
Yeah,
again.
Kurt.
Back to me?
Back to you, Brad.
All right. Let's bring... let's get Eddie Murphy into the mix. Beverly Hills Cop. Another cop duo movie. This launched Eddie Murphy's career. I'm really hoping that he convinced Chappelle to they're supposed to make a movie. He said he would only do it if Eddie Murphy plays his brother, Charlie Murphy, in the movie. One of the funniest actors of all time. One of the funniest stand-up comedians of all time. He plays a young detective out in Detroit. He finds out one of his best ex-friends is murdered out in Beverly Hills, California. So he decides to take a trip and investigate the murder of his best friend. Another 80s action movie that opens up a whole drug deal thing. His style.
A lot of corruption in the 80s.
Yeah.
A lot of government and police corruption back in the day.
So Eddie Murphy's one of the smoothest talkers, quick-witted, fast talker. So his style and pace out there with the rich yacht club people and all that.
Yeah.
It's so good. Very funny movie.
The theme song is so famous.
Yeah.
Yeah, the street smarts. Yeah. All right. Back to me?
Back to you.
Ooh, there's still some really great movies on the list here.
We'll do your sixth one, and then we'll each give one because we're
All right.
We got to kind of wrap it, but we'll each give one after that. We didn't make the list, but could have. We won't go into much detail about it, but.
I think I gotta go with Best of the Best. 1989. This is a movie about 5 U.S. martial artists who go through months of training to bond.
Seen this.
Oh, Jimmy,
I remember
put it high on
this
your
one,
list. James Earl Jones is their coach.
Really?
5 guys make the U.S. team. They're going to be competing against South Korea in a martial arts tournament. So the movie is a lot of them like training and bonding, different personalities coming together. Everyone kind of thinks their style is the best. James Earl Jones' job is to make them a coach. This movie has Eric Roberts, one of the Penn brothers. I think Christopher Penn maybe is like a cowboy kind of theme in this movie.
The not-so-known Penn.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the catch here, though, is that the star of the U.S. team, Tommy Lee, his brother was actually killed by the best fighter on the South Korean team. So he's like in this for vengeance.
Yeah.
And I don't want to give it away if Jimmy hasn't seen it, but there's a twist at the end of this movie that's really cool twist. But Best of the Best, you know, as a young kid, like I wanted to be a ninja growing up, and this was one of those like, there's a lot of good martial arts movies, some that we haven't even listed on here.
Yeah.
Kickboxer and
Kickboxer
a bunch.
was great.
But Best of the Best was such a solid like team bonding, team training. We're going through hell together. We're going to come out on the other side.
That's one.
Very good movie. Yeah, and it's James Earl Jones. Like he's
So give us what's one that didn't make the list that could have easily.
Batman. The
I saw it on Jimmy's.
Michael Keaton, Jack Nicholson.
I had that on the list.
Like, it was a comic book movie that was like dark and gritty, and I wasn't surprised to find out Tim Burton directed it. That makes so much sense.
Michael Keaton is the all-time greatest Batman.
Did you guys know in this one that Robin Williams was originally casted to play the Joker, but they only did that as a way to leverage Jack to get him to actually do it. And Jack made bank off this movie because he didn't sign a typical contract. Yeah. He decided to do a percentage of ticket sales. And they say he probably made. Now think about this. This was back in 1989. They say he probably made between 40 and 60 million doing this movie.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I saw an interview with Robin Williams where they talked about them giving Jack the role. And
they just used him as a pawn.
And he was like, maybe I could actually be the Joker in the next, or the Riddler in the next one. But then, who's Jim Carrey did the Riddler?
Yeah, that was years later. Yeah. Arnold was in that one.
So another movie that almost made it to the top 5 but didn't is Red Dawn. You guys remember that movie?
Heck yeah.
Yep.
I mean,
Swayze, Sheen.
Swayze, Sheen, C. Thomas Howell, Leah Thompson. But you know, it's kind of a ridiculous concept when you think about it.
Great. These high school kids, the Wolverines.
They get attacked, and then they're like guerrilla warriors, and they're just taking down an entire army.
Then they link up with the actual like army vet in the woods somewhere.
Yeah, the guy gets his plane crashed. But anyway, they made a remake of that. Definitely not as good, but Red Dawn was awesome.
First ever PG-13 movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep.
Was Red Dawn. And you know what pushed? I'm gonna give you guys a quick trivia here. Which 2 movies? So it used to just be PG and R. There was no like middle ground. There were 2 movies that finally pushed the PG-13 label. They were both rated PG, and I think it ruffled some feathers because there was some intensity to them. Any guesses? Around the same time. The first is one of our favorite Christmas movies.
National Lampoons?
Gremlins.
Oh, Gremlins.
Gremlins. And then the second was Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. It was like
so you just took what?
Child sacrifice in this movie.
Yeah.
So that was PG originally, and then
Dr. Jones.
After those 2 movies, they decided, all right, we need a PG-13.
So can we list Karate Kid and Goonies as action movies?
I only didn't because I kept them in the
Goonies is definitely not an action movie.
More adventure.
Yes.
You gotta say Karate Kid's an action movie though, right?
I mean,
you could. I think you could. I would say a sports movie like
Karate Kid is definitely could be an action movie, but Yeah, I mean, these are all movies you guys should go and check out.
You gotta say Above the
all
Law,
this.
the one that launched Steven Seagal into superstar.
We didn't even mention Steven Seagal.
It was Under Siege in the 90s.
90s, unfortunately. Yeah.
Well, I had another Arnold one, but unfortunately, it's 1990 was Total Recall.
Exactly.
Arnold's best movie.
That
ever.
episode will be coming. 90s action movies.
Yeah,
I think 90s gives the
save
80s
it.
a run
for
for their
sure.
money.
Yeah.
You got some good ones.
But yeah, anyway, check out the movies. If you haven't seen these, you should definitely watch them. But stay tuned, and we'll be right back. All right, y'all, we're going to wrap this up here. And first, we're going to talk a little NBA. We got Knicks,
Great games.
Cavs, Spurs, Thunder. These series, I think, will go the distance for the most part, both of these series.
This is probably going to be the last year to even really talk about the NBA, because if I think the Spurs are going to win the title, but if they don't, the rest of the league, this was your year to get one. The future has arrived.
Yeah.
Wembanyama, what he did in Game 1 was insane.
Well,
on so many different levels.
he said he had like a down Game 2, but didn't he have like 21 points and like 17
boards,
rebounds?
3
And I'm
or
like,
4
how is that a
blocks.
down game?
I tell you what killed
And
him.
he did that the whole time. I watched the whole game too. Hartenstein was like this on Wemby pretty
Yeah.
much the entire
Hartenstein-
game.
Hartenstein-
Hartenstein, I think Hartenstein got.
He had a decent game.
Well,
a
you
big
saw
game.
SGA get interviewed at the end, and she was, "What did you think of Hartenstein's play?" And he's like, "Not that great."
Yeah. They're not going to let
He
him
was
do that.
hinting at he hacked him the entire.
You got
game.
it. What do you do against someone who's 9 feet tall and
But-
is an alien?
Hey, if they're not calling it, he did a great job.
When you come down the court and launch one from 28 feet and you're 7'5" and you're burying 28-foot threes.
It's not even fair.
And then at the end, like, he's blocking putback dunks. Like, guys are coming in to flush a putback. But can we just for a minute, this is 2 games in a row now, talk about Castle's leaping ability. So in Game 1, he straight up throws Shea on a poster. He jumps off at 2 feet, and I'm telling you, it's like he's got rocket boosters in his high tops.
Levitates.
He does. It's like he jumps
hovers.
quick. So Game 2, he almost put Shea on a poster again. Shea has to foul him pretty hard to avoid the poster. And then what he did to Hartenstein should be illegal.
Yeah, I heard actually a couple of talking heads today, and they were debating whether that's one of the greatest in-game playoff dunks ever.
Yes.
It was, and this is why, we've talked some NBA, and the Spurs are so ahead of schedule, because if you look at like most of your guys usually win their first title around 27. It takes a few years to learn the league, to physically mature. This team is led by a 20, a 21, and a 22-year-old who all can ball. Unfortunately, Dylan Harper got hurt last night. We keep talking. So did Jalen Williams, for OKC. Yeah. The NBA's got to fix this soft tissue injury problem. All these guys that get hurt this time of year, we touched on it a little bit.
And what's his name? Castle? Who's the one Castle? 21 turnovers or something?
He's not a point guard.
It's you got to hang on to that ball.
Fox being out is killing them.
Castle's not a point guard.
No.
He's having to play.
They're asking him to play that position.
That's De'Aaron Fox's role right there when it comes to crunch time. So he almost lost them Game 1 with 11 turnovers. And then he lost them Game 2 with 9 turnovers.
Yeah, the turnovers are a part of it, but he also, in that first quarter of Game 1, he had 11 points. He carried them in the first quarter. He ended up with 20-something. I think he's got 42 points in the 2 games combined.
And I think he's got 20 assists between the first 2 games,
He blanked me on threes, though. I had him for 2 threes. He was like 1 for 9 last
You watch how he guarded Shea in Game 1. There's a reason Shea struggled in that game, and it's not just Wemby. Castle is a beast on defense. So I'm telling you right now, if this team stays healthy, it's a wrap for the rest of the league for the next couple years.
But we see how this goes. We've seen this before. It's hard to keep these guys, these young guys, because they're all going to want max contracts, and you can't really give out 3 different max contracts on the same team and have anything else. So, I mean, we'll see. They're going to have to win something, I think, in the next couple of years if they all want to stay together.
Well, they're going home to San Antonio next, and I think Wemby's going to have at least one historic game there.
I promise
he already has, but this is going to be like a 50-point game.
I promise you the next 2 games will be called a lot different. The announcers were even saying it. And the NBA is going to review some of this tape and be like, what Hartenstein did. It's amazing to me he got away with it. They stopped the coverage multiple times in the first half, and he's just got his jersey balled up. He's literally holding his hands.
It's the only way you can guard that guy, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But then we're going to Knicks Cavs. Knicks down 22 again in the fourth.
With 7 minutes left.
Jalen Brunson erupting and completely overwhelmed the Cavs. I think everyone, the Cavs, the announcers, the fans, were so stunned after that game.
Let's keep it real. He overwhelmed James Harden over and over and over again.
James Harden.
He had him on ice skates out there.
Oh my gosh, it was a terrible showing for Harden. And after the game,
he couldn't miss that.
How are you? And again, I don't love playing armchair quarterback, but here's where common sense coach comes in. Common sense coach needs to tell the Cavs coach, take a timeout. How do you not at least just try to stem the tide a little? You lose 2 of your timeouts when you hit the 3-minute mark.
Harden couldn't hit free throws at the end of the game. I saw the end of the game, who was it, Lee Salter, she wanted to interview Mitchell. She was like, hey, and he goes, go and talk to Harden and how he can't make any free throws, which I thought was a little, I don't know, a loss like that, I get it. You get a little mad. But
James Harden's playoff history is lacking, to say the least. He is thrown
pretty duty.
He has thrown up some duds. There's moments where he's not even looking to shoot. That one has to rip your heart out if you're a Cavs fan.
They were giving him the lane all night,
and he wouldn't take it. 22 with 7 minutes left. If you just would have dribbled the shot clock down to 0 and probably not shot on each possession, you'd have had a better chance to win that game.
Yeah.
But as a Knicks fan,
huge
I'm excited. I'm not going to lie. I turned off the game because I was so disgusted in the fourth quarter. And I laid down. I picked up my phone because I couldn't stop thinking about it. And they were only down 11. And I had to turn it back on because I didn't know what happened. But yeah, that was a wild ending.
I just saw this guy's got a live bet going. It's a 4-leg parlay. He paid $2,500 on it. It was U.S. hockey, I think, to win the gold. It was another previous bet. It might have been Super Bowl winner, Seahawks. And it was San Antonio to win their conference and the Knicks to win their conference. He's got a current payout option of $500,000 right now.
Ooh-wee.
I'm taking it.
He's letting it.
I'm taking that money.
He publicly said he's letting it ride.
Wow.
People are crazy.
What would the payout be?
It's like $1.2 million.
I'm taking the $500,000.
Yeah, I mean, what are you kidding me?
Hey, or do you let it go to like a game 6 or 7? And then take it.
No, because then that'll go down. The further the series goes, that'll go down, the payout. So if you're giving me $500,000 on a $2,500 bet,
he's sitting on a gold.
But anyway, should be fun series.
Some great basketball being played though, because even Game 2 last night, even though OKC pulled away at the end, very competitive basketball game.
Yeah. But a lot of turnovers, sloppy play on both sides in both the games. A lot of turnovers.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's talk a little bit about, we had the PGA Championships, and these guys were just getting destroyed by the course.
Man, day 2 was brutal.
The greens, Brent, what do you think about the greens on the course?
I think Scotty Scheffler said it best. He's never seen pin locations. Like, some of these holes were just...
It's that pissed off groundskeeper.
I saw on Saturday, I think, a stat. It said, like, up until that point, 6% of the holes were 3-putted, which for PGA Tour players is those guys don't 3-putt.
Yeah.
I also found it very interesting. You had all those names on the leaderboard headed into Sunday, and you get a no name Aaron Rye holds them all off and wins by a couple strokes.
I like Aaron Rye. He did well, I think, on the European tour. He won a bunch, but
did you see a story about why he wears head covers on his irons?
Yeah.
Did you guys?
It was really, it was
very really cool. Yeah,
really
Jimmy,
heartwarming.
Tell Brad.
Yeah, so he has head covers, and now if you're a golfer and you go to play golf with a guy with iron head covers, you're probably making fun of him.
Yeah,
but,
people online was like talking smack about what's this
but
guy
he
doing?
has head covers for his irons because when he was a kid, they didn't have a lot of money. His dad bought him a pretty expensive set of clubs, and like I said, they didn't really have money, so he didn't want to ruin the clubs at all. He
cleaned them after every round.
Yeah, he loved them so much, and that he got head covers on there, and he said it's just something that he's kept doing ever since then. It kind of reminds him of his dad and, being a kid.
Reminds him.
Now, after this
where he's
win,
from.
how many amateurs are you going to see now with head covers on their irons?
I'm still going to make
Jimmy's
fun
already
of him.
ordered some. He's already ordered some on Amazon.
Look, if you're not winning a PGA championship, then I'm going to make fun of you if you haven't. So.
No, that was a cool story, and you kind of get excited when the leaders are up there, but it's always this is a life-changing thing for this guy.
You do like seeing these guys win because, like you said, this kind of puts him in the spotlight, and now the focus is on him. But
how'd you end up in that pool?
Not very good.
Like -4.
I was probably around -2 or 3.
Yeah. Justin Rose came back, had a big last round, but Ricky, he lost that number.
Yeah. All right, that's going to wrap it up for us today.
Wait. One more thing.
What's that?
Did you catch Subway Series?
I caught a little bit of it.
2 out of 3. Again. Yeah. Mets have won 15 out
They're
of the
still the third worst record in the league.
The last 2 games.
This is the Mets World Series while the Yankees are throwing.
We got to have something.
We got the last 2 games against the Nats.
Congratulations.
So well.
Look, the problem...
We were up 2-1 when I walked in here today in the 9th, so I don't know how that wrapped
that's a
up.
definite loss.
I'll tell you, the problem for the Mets now are the Phillies because their manager got fired, and who took over the Phillies?
Donnie Baseball.
Donnie Baseball. Last I checked, they were like 15-2 since he took over as manager, and they're on fire.
We gotta bring in someone new. I hate to say it. We gotta get someone new.
You're just excited about winning the Subway Series.
We're just pulling people from the weeds. But exciting local story. Someone who works close to us down here, his nephew is getting pulled up. He's making his debut tomorrow.
Last night, Tuesday. He played his first game Monday or Tuesday. It was 0 for 3 in his debut.
Yeah.
It's a second-round draft pick, though. Straight out of high school.
Wow.
He's had a good minor league start. The young bats for the Mets are swinging the stick right now. Benj has been awesome. Ewing's been great since they brought him up. Bichette finally starting to hit some home runs.
We just need 8-run leads going into the 9th, man.
It's one of these days.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Yeah, Soto racked up 2 bombs last night. His bat's on.
He's swinging the bat well. Yeah.
He's got to stay healthy for us. That's it.
Maybe he can pitch.
We'll see. We're going to track the emotions of the Mets fans on this podcast from the beginning of the season to the end.
Always hopeful. Always hopeful.
There's a lot of season left.
All right, y'all. Thank you for watching, and join us next week. We will be doing a discussion. It's going to be all TGIF.
Ooh.
ABC channel?
ABC TGIF
Order your Domino's
from the 90s.
pizza. Get your Domino's pizza ready to be delivered.
So that should be fun reminiscing about that. But please like and subscribe. It helps us out, and we will catch you next time.